Hi Libra, this is your horoscope for April 2015 with me, Lada, from astrolada.com, where you can find out my birth chart calculator, and if you know your time of birth, you can find out your ascendant sign and listen for the prediction of your ascendant sign as well, because it will give you another layer and understanding of what's happening in your life. Just like not every Libra will have the same experience, because different Libras have different ascendant sign or moon signs. And you can also find there your transits for the next 3 years, which are particular for you. No one else in the world will have the same transits as you. So you can watch the videos and see what you can expect, the big events for the next 3 years. But anyway, what does April bring you, Libra? Well, there is an eclipse happening at the beginning of April in your sign. And many Libras are feeling it already from March. And an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, its activity is felt for about a month before and a month after the eclipse. So now in March and in April, you're gonna be going through some big changes, Libras, because the eclipse falls exactly in your sign. And let me explain a little bit first what this eclipse is about. Well, an eclipse is when the shadow of the earth falls on the moon and the light of the sun cannot illuminate the moon, so it looks as if the moon darkens, it becomes bloody red. That's why it's called blood moon, and it's a full moon eclipse. And the moon is our ego, is our mind, is our human consciousness that sees everything in duality, good or bad, cold, hot, beautiful, ugly. And the moon is basically the human ego and human consciousness. It's the dual consciousness, the consciousness of separation. I am me, you are you. And the sun is the consciousness of one. The sun is the divine consciousness, when you can see something from a higher perspective. So basically the sun takes over from the moon. And the moon is also your emotional attachments. And the moon is in your sign, so the eclipse happens in your sign. It's you. So basically outdated beliefs, outdated modes of behavior, outdated ways of approaching the world, outdated everything, path in your life that if you've taken a wrong turn or if you've gone down a wrong path, now this eclipse can correct it. The eclipses are like karmic corrections of your path when they happen in your sign. They're fated. These are things you cannot avoid. These are things that it's like a karmic imperative, decree. You have to change something now. And basically the sun eclipses your moon, so you can detach from emotional attachments of the ego, which are outdated, which no longer serve you. But it is a painful process, because the ego is the most persistent thing. The ego only exists because of our belief system, of our old memories, of our experiences, of what we're used to do over and over. The moon is our emotional reactions, how we react to things, because we've been conditioned through past experiences, through belief system that we're not even aware of, through modes of doing things that, that we're not even aware. We keep doing it in the same way. And when the sun eclipses the moon, we get detached from those. You get detached, Libras, from those. You have a unique opportunity. And you feel stressful. You might feel worried. It's the ego that's getting worried. It's the ego that's worried from the unknown. It's the ego that's worried that it's being, a few layers of the ego are going to get peeled off from you. And that's why there is always, for most people, this impending sense of doom or worry that something is changing. Something is not going to be as it has been till now. It's painful. But actually it's for your good, because the things that fall apart, fall away from your life now, that come to a completion, are outdated. The things that were getting you stuck in the past. And the moon is the past. It's getting you stuck in your ego. The moon is the thoughts that rotate on a loop in your mind over and over. It's you seeing this is good and this is bad. And now you have a higher perspective to see things from a consciousness of unity, and to detach from those outdated belief systems and ways of being. So how can it manifest on the material level for you? Well, you know, for a lot of Libras, it might mean like an awakening, like an illumination and realizations that how they've been living their life is not productive, that they have to make some big change now. And the full moon is about, basically the lunar eclipse is about concluding something in your life, about realizing something is no longer working, so you have a year to let it go after that, or I'd say maybe at least the months around the lunar eclipse. You have an opportunity to let go of those outdated modes of being. So this can manifest like a change in career, you know, especially if it's your sun in Libra, because the sun rules our career, our goals in life, the path we're walking on. If it's your ascendant, it's your path you're walking on. So there can be like a big shift, like a derailing of a train that decides to change from this path to that path. So, you know, these are huge and rare periods in someone's life. And not all Libras will feel it so intensely, though, such big changes in their life. And you'll be either called to do these changes yourself, which is the less painful way, or they'll happen to you from outside. But at the end of this process, you feel more liberated. You feel more yourself, your truth self. A few layers of your ego have been peeled out. You're more authentic and truth to your real path in life that you have to follow. And this can include changes of careers, letting go of outdated modes of relationships, letting go of outdated modes of how you take care of your body, because the sun and the ascendant sign, it rules the physical body. And even if it's your moon is in Libra, it rules your you know, who you are as a person. So something inside of you is changing in a big way now. And particularly those of you Libras who are born around the following days, from around the 4th to around the 11th, 12th of October, they will feel this eclipse most strongly, because the eclipse falls on those degrees. Or if you have your ascendant or your moon from around 10 to around 18 degrees, but particularly around the 15th, 14th, 16th degree is the most strong. These people definitely within the next 6 months, something in a big way will be changing their life in the path, in the direction, the emotional. They will disconnect from certain emotional attachments and ways of being and doing things, which when you take off a few layers from yourself, because you see things in a different way, you take a different path in life as well. That's why it's an indication, the eclipse, of big changes happening in life. So very kind of a time to think deep, to look around for signs, what's happening, especially the first week of April when the eclipse is happening. It's exactly on the 4th. But look around. What feels like it's coming to a completion? What feels like it's no longer valid? What feels that it's run its course? Be grateful to it and let it go. Or what do you have to change in order for you to be freer and more of who you are and to be more truthful to your path in life? And at the same time, the eclipse allows you, when you peel a few of those layers, to manifest better the opposite house, which is relationships. And you can all of a sudden receive more freedom to attract more supportive relationships in your life. Because the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, always involves 2 houses. The first one is you. This is where the big change is happening. This is where you're changing something. So you're changing something in you, in your path in life, whether it's career, whether it's how you approach people, how you look at things in a different way. Certain attachments fall away from you. You feel freer, even though the process can be stressful. It can be triggered by some crisis again, as I said. So, crisis help us have faster realizations, but at the same time it allows for better relationships and connections with people to happen. So it can, in the long term, this can have a very positive effect on your relationships. And in this month in particular, there are quite a few planets, the Sun and Mercury, till the middle of the month, triggering your 7th house of relationships. So there will be a focus as well on relationship in a strong way. Maybe someone can come who is more supportive in your life. Maybe you can attract people who can help you through this transformation that you're going yourself. Or maybe your spouse can become more supportive in some way. But you see, this process of changing yourself involves also the people around you somehow and your relationship with them. And it's good in this month to ask for support from others because your 7th and 8th house are very strongly triggered. There are a lot of planets there, and both are houses of other people. So now it's a good month to ask, and you will receive support from others. 8th house is the resources, emotional or financial or material from others. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed or a bit lost, turn to psychologists, friends, or your spouse or someone. Ask them for even for financial support you can receive from others right now if you need that, or access to their resources or possessions, or emotional support in some way. It's a good time also to cooperate with others in some way in April, because it will help you go through the transformations easier. And you can benefit in some way. It's also a good month to sort out financial matters, because 8th house is other money, taxes, inheritances, finances, mutual finances with another person. And it's being triggered strongly by Mars, by Venus, by Mercury as well, later on by the Sun. So different planets triggered at different moments in April. But definitely, especially towards the end of the month, there is a lot of focus on, maybe some of you will be sorting out their taxes, mutual finances. Maybe some of you will be putting focus on your budget with your partner in some way. Or if you work in a business partnership with another, or if you take care of other people's money and resources, maybe in a bank, maybe in insurance, maybe in, maybe you're working in sales and you're working with other people's money in some way. Or hedge funds or whatever, or with other people's talents and resources, possessions in some way. This can be a very happening and productive month for such developments, and you can tackle problems there. Problems can arise because there's a difficult planet there, Mars, which can escalate certain financial issues. My money versus your money, our mutual finances, and you can sort things out there. You can get them running. You can get them happening. But definitely it's a good month now in April to put focus on others, to ask for support, to cooperate, to partner with others in some endeavors as well, and to sort out relationships. And let's see. Okay, just a second. And I want to give you also some specific... Oh, yes, and there is another sign that is strongly activated for you, Libras. This is the sign Leo. Leo is triggered this month very strongly. And Leo is your 11th house of friendships. You see, again, other people somehow are involved. Friendships, social groups, big groups of people, organizations that you're a member of, or if you're working in some big hierarchical organizations with big groups of people, and some corporations as well, people that are involved. But this sign is triggered in a very positive way, only by positive planets till the middle of April. So again, 11th house also rules benefactors, people who can help you in some way progress and further your goals, progress and further your long-term dreams and wishes. So now you can attract such people who can in some way open a door for you, who believe in you and who can give you a helping support, just like friends are supposed to be such people who believe in us and who are there to support us. So you can be more involved in social outings and social activities as well. I don't know, might be some, parties, or get invited out more, or get invited to places where people get together in big groups. Welcome those. This can be good opportunities for you. This can bring good developments for you. And 11th house also rules the house of gains. People, gains of your work, because 10th house is work and the 11th house is the next after, so the rewards of this work. So people who have their own businesses, for example, can be more gainful financially till the middle of April. People who expect some bonuses can have good news, especially if your ascendant is in Libra. It can be good, 11th house. So it can be a gainful month, even though the eclipse is happening there. There are big realizations that are happening in your life and shifts and changes, but it can be financially gainful month as well. And with more friends and support from others at the same time. Let's see what else is happening for you, Libras. Uranus will trigger Libras in a strong way as well. and not all Libras, but Uranus will trigger your relationships, and Uranus will come to you through other people, through interactions with other people, because it comes from his 7th house. And Uranus will trigger in particular those Libras that are born with ascendant or moon from 15 till 19 degrees in Libra, or basically those Libras who have their sun, who are born from around the 9th of October to around the 13th of October. It's approximately also the people who are having the eclipse influence, you know, very similar degrees, because Uranus proceeds further into those degrees, and Uranus is again the planet of big changes. So it again comes to reconfirm that those Libras born in the middle degrees, Sun, Ascendant, Moon, or those days that I mentioned, they very likely will start on a new journey with big changes. Uranus makes this aspect once every 84 years in your life, and it will be doing it for the next 1 year. And it's the first hit you're going to feel, Libras that are born on those days and those degrees. So it is telling you that something got to change in a big way in your life. And the change will very likely be instigated through outer people, through outer provocations in some way, and very likely in relationships in some way. Some of you might be cutting off of connections with another. Uranus helps you detach from others, and for unhealthy relationship or relationship with a blocking you, or if you've been in a stagnant marriage which is not supportive of you, you can either break away from it or relationship, or you have to make some big change in the dynamics of the relationship if you want to keep it. Or maybe the partner will make some big changes, so business partner or personal partner, that makes you look at your life, and if you want to keep this partnership, change something in a big way in you. Again, you see how it's involved with the eclipse, with yourself, or just let go of that relationship and move forward. And if it's your son, basically born on those days that I mentioned, from around, you know, the 9th to around the 13th of October, it's very likely that it might indicate even a shift in career in some way, in your goals and plans. So it kind of repeats the influence of, you know, the eclipse, and especially the middle-born Libras get activated very strongly, while the other Libras might not feel such big changes happening within, but they can feel this extra push as well. So yeah, it's a good month for big reevaluations, conclusions of certain things in your life, and also looking for support and cooperating with others and relationships. Thank you very much, Libras.